Alright, everyone. So, welcome to your last lab. So, this will be the last and might also just be the shortest lab you ever had in this course. So, let's see, okay?
Thank you, sir.
आगे थैंक यू बोलो ना आगे देखी
Okay, sir.
all right, so I believe you can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this one is about your advanced text display and Intel's advanced microprocessor. So let's just deep in. Okay, so basically in today's lab we will be trying to show you how you can display a text on the display window that you normally get from your microprocessor, and how you can control that. I mean, you can control on which portion of the display you want your text to appear, then what will be the color of the text, what will be the background of the text, and all these things. So this is all we'll be trying to cover today. So this is basically controlling the monitor display. Very simple. Like, you will be able to move a cursor, you will be able to scroll down windows, and you can display characteristics with various attributes. Attributes means like what will be the color, what will be the intensity, will there be any blinking, will it be underlined, and all these different things. So anyway, in all these cases you always need a video adapter. This video adapter has basically two parts. One is a display memory and another is video controller. So your display memory stores the information to be displayed, like whatever you want to display, your name, a specific character, number, whatever is that, all those things will be stored in a display memory, and this display memory will be within your video adapter. All right, and the second one is your video controller. So this has also got two functions. Like, the first thing it will do is it will read the display memory. Like, from this display memory it will read the content that you want to display, and then based on that it will generate appropriate video signals for the monitor, definitely. All right, so nothing, these are all actually theoretical things. So let's move on. Fine, so there are two modes, as obvious. You can have text mode and graphics mode, and definitely we will not be covering graphics mode as of now. I mean, as of now means unfortunately in this course we cannot cover because it needs a lot of prerequisites. So we'll try to cover the text mode at least. So you see that in the text mode your screen is typical and character is displayed at each screen position. Okay, so a very general question: if this is the case, how many characters can you display? Can anyone tell me?
Sir, 80 into 25.
Exactly, 80 into 25. How much is that?
2000.
2000.
Okay, so you can display 80 into 25 around
2000, sir.
yeah 2000 characters, right? Or text, let's just say text. Okay, so let's move on. As I said, we will be discussing only the text mode. Just a second. How can I just erase this portion?
আচ্ছা, এটা কি এপিক পেন দিয়ে লিখতেছস আরিফ?
কিন্তু আগের ওই রাইটিং
গেছে, চলে গেছে। পেন আসতেছে না কিন্তু তো।
আমি এই আগে এই পেনটা আসতেছে না কেন জানি, কারণটা কি? পেনটা তো ছিল। লেটস সি এটা ছাড়াই আপাতত করি। Fine, sorry for that. Anyway, so yeah, text mode. So let's now go for text mode programming. So character display at the screen position is specified by the contents of a word in the display memory. Over here, your word means the 16 bit is known as a what? Do you remember that? Your 16 bits represent a what? Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in that word, your low byte will contain the character's ASCII code and your high byte will contain the attribute. Again, I told you what is the meaning of attribute. So the character that you want to display will be in the low byte and the attributes will be in the high byte. Very simple. So this is what we just like learned, that 18 to 25. So you can have 2000 words, and definitely for 2000 words you will need 4000 bytes of memory requirement. Look at this last line. It starts with address B800, then 00000H. So this is the memory location, okay, where your character is being stored.
আরিফ, আমরা সম্ভবত দেখতে পাচ্ছি না, মানে জাস্ট তোর যে অ্যাডভান্স টেক্সট ডিসপ্লে, আমি এটা দেখতেছি, অন্য কে কি দেখতেছে জানি না।
অ্যাডভান্স টেক্সট
মানে ডিসপ্লে মোড যেখানে
থার্ড স্লাইডটা দেখা যাচ্ছে,
থার্ড স্লাইডটা দেখা যাচ্ছে।
ফোর্থ স্লাইড পড়া।
তুই ওই যে এনেবল এডিটিং করে তারপরে আবার ইয়াতে যা।
এটা এতক্ষণ ধরে কেউ বলে না কেন, কত দূর চলে গেছি।
স্যার কয়েকজনকে স্যার অটোমেটিক্যালি নাকি মিটিং থেকে বের করে দিতে যাচ্ছে, ওরা ঢুকতে পারতেছে না।
আমিও সেম জুমে প্রবলেম ফেস করতেছি, রবিও সেম জিনিস, নট রেসপন্ডিং বলতেছে তারা।
আচ্ছা, বাকি আমি কিন্তু কিছু করতেছি না, ঠিক আছে? আমি কাউকে বেরও করে দিচ্ছি না, কিছু না, আমার এখানে কোনো নোটিফিকেশন আসতেছে না। সো আই ডু নট নো অ্যাবাউট ইট। অটোমেটিক বের করে দিচ্ছে।
দুই তিনজন বললো আর কি স্যার, যে বের করে দিচ্ছে, ওরা ঢুকতে চাইতেছে বাট ঢুকতে পারতেছে না।
বুঝতে পারছি, কিন্তু নর্মালি তোমাকে কাউকে যদি মিটিং থেকে ওয়েটিং রুমে অথবা একবারে রিমুভ করা হয়, তো এর জন্য অপশনে গিয়ে দিতে হয়, যে হুট করে একটাতে টিপ পড়লো বের হয়ে গেল, এরকম না, কিন্তু এটা তো জানো। আর ওয়েটিং রুমও ইনেবল করা নাই, সো এটা তাদের এন্ড থেকে প্রবলেম হতে পারে।
আচ্ছা, এখন দেখা যাচ্ছে? রবিউল?
হ্যাঁ, দেখা যাচ্ছে। হ্যাঁ, এখন কন্টিনিউ করো।
আল্লাহ, ঠিক আছে, বুঝছো, লেখাটা হ্যাঁ এডিটিং মোড এনাবেল করা ছিল না, ওই জন্য। ওকে, সো আই ওয়াজ কোনটা দিলাম? Yeah, so I was over here, right? Slide 3.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so typically 80 into 25 character text can be displayed, and in graphics mode each position is known as pixel that you already know. So we'll be covering only the text mode, we will not be covering the graphics mode. All right, so now you need to specify the mode number on how you want to represent, and you can see that in some of the cases the adapters might also be a bit different. Like if your mode number is 0, you can have 40 into 25 dimension available for you to display, and it will be a 16 color text, but within bracket you can see that it is written color burst off. That means although it is a color text, I mean the display is capable of displaying in color mode, but you are writing color burst off, meaning that you will only be displaying in black and white, nothing else. But if you go for mode number 1, the same thing, now you can display in colored mode. Same thing for 2 and 3. The dimension is much bigger now, 18 to 25. Same 16 color text, color burst off means, I mean, you will be able to display only in black and white. And over here, you will be in mode 3, will be able to display in colored format. For 7, it is monochrome text, and you can see that for this 7, you need a slightly different adapter like MDA unit. For others, it is more or less the same, but this adapter MCGA will not support mode 7 like this. I mean, the main target of this slide is to let you know that there are different modes and you might be needing different adapters for this type of modes. That's it. All right, moving on. So usually it is divided into 80 columns and 25 rows, and a position is definitely located by your CR coordinates, column and row coordinates. For 80 into 25 displays, it is very obvious. Your rows will start from 0, so it will continue up to 24, and your column will start from 0 and it will end up to 79. So if you go for the upper left corner, it will be 0, 0. The lower left corner will be 0, 24. Upper right corner will be 79, 0. I mean, this is very obvious. Lower right corner will 79, 24, and center will be 39, 12. Do I need to explain this thing? Why it is upper left? I mean, how the center is 39, 12? How the lower right is this? Do I need to explain this thing?
Just one thing, I think we should mention that here column is the first thing, isn't it? Normally we are familiar with that. Okay, row then column, but here maybe it is written as column then row, isn't it?
Yeah, normally we are familiar with RC format, but this is CR. Yeah, right. Okay. Is it okay up to this, or do I need to explain why upper right is 79 and 0? Do I need to explain this thing? Anyone, come on, at least let me know.
So it starts from the bottom left corner.
Yeah, exactly, very obvious. That's why. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
And this is the corresponding hex representation. This is the decimal representation of the numbers, and this is the hex representation of the numbers. That's it. Can I move on?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks. All right. So as I was saying, I think this is where up to which I tried to continue. Anyway, so this is specified by the contents of a word. As I said, word is your 16-bit, if you remember. So the low byte of the word will contain the characters ASCII code, and the high byte will contain the attributes. I already said what is attributes. So you can have 80 into 25, that means 2000 words, and for those 2000 words you will need 4000 bytes of memory. Okay, and you can see this memory starts from B800, and remember, this memory is a part of your adapter, nothing else. It is a part of your adapter. So this is from where your memory starts. All right, moving on. Okay, now we are talking about the attribute. I mean, we are talking about the high byte. Okay, so you see the high byte looks like this. You see your bit 0, 1, 2. It is written as RGB. These are the 3 basic colors that are available. So these 3 will contain the color of your text that you want to display. Then bit number 3 is the intensity, or sometimes it also stands for, I mean, underlined or bold, something like that. So you can see that these 3, 2, 1, 0, these 4 combinedly will be responsible for the text that you want to display. What will be the color of the text? Will it be underlined? Will it, I mean, what will be the level of intensity? All those things will be determined by these 4 bits, bit 0, 1, 2, and 3. Now, bit 4, 5, and 6, these three will be responsible for the attribute of the background. Like, what is the color of the background that you want? Which color? What is, I mean, what type of color? All those things will be determined by 6, 5, and 4 number bit. And bit 7 will be responsible for blinking. Like, if you want that the text that will be given, that you will be displaying will keep on blinking, then most probably bit number 7 will be 1, otherwise it will be 0. So something like that. So you can see 4, 5, 6, and 7. These 4 bits are responsible for the attributes of the background, and bit 0, 1, 2, 3 are responsible for the attributes of the foreground or the text that you are trying to display. That is known as your foreground. Is it okay up to this?
Yes, sir.
All right. Fine. So this is obvious, the combination. So if you provide all 0, it is black, then blue, green, cyan, red, magenta, brown, whatnot. I mean, over here you have got all the combinations of how you want your text to be displayed. Okay. I mean, remember, you don't have to memorize these things. Just try to understand. All right. You don't have to memorize these things. You just have to know that if I ask you that display in magenta, then definitely I will provide you this chart. That this is the chart for all the colors. Then I will ask you that write a code to display in brown or white or something like that. So you don't have to memorize all this thing. Just know this is how you can control the color. That's it. Fine. So this is the example of a code. So okay. So let us see the code over here. Then I will show you in emulator as well. So first 3 lines, I don't think there is anything that I need to explain in the first 3 lines. These are all straightforward. Now, see what we're doing. We are moving the address 0B800H2AX. Then we are moving that AX to DS. Is there anyone who remembers what is DS? Do you remember? What is DS?
Data segment.
Data segment.
Exactly. It is data segment register, right?
Yes.
So you see, in that register, you are moving this address, meaning that you are activating that memory, nothing else. You are simply activating that memory. That's why you are moving this address, the starting address. If you remember, I told you that this is the starting address, right? I told you that this is the starting address. You are allowing that address to be stored in the data segment register. Now you are moving CX is equal to 2000. If you remember, your CX is your loop counter from your previous labs. So CX is your loop counter. You already saw the calculation that you can display 2000 characters maximum in a single display. So it is already written, yeah, 2000 words. So that's why you are moving 2000 to CX. So that means somewhere in a loop we will definitely go for a loop. Now, what is DI?
Destination index.
What is DI? Exactly,
Destination index.
Okay. So if you remember, how is your address given? Your address will be given in this DI format, right? Isn't it? Okay, I think there was a network issue. So can you hear me now?
DI টা বোঝানোর সময় একটু মানে ড্রপ করছে।
So DI is your destination index. So your address will now be accessed by DSDI. Do you remember this portion? This is how you will access your address.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it was obvious. Now, this is what? This is a label, right? You can see a colon, fill, buff, or whatever. So this is the name of a label. Now look at this line. This line is a bit important. So what we are trying to do, we are trying to fill the screen with red A on a blue screen. So these are the two things that we need. Red A on a blue screen. So let me go back a little bit. So to demonstrate red, you need 0100, right? Over here you can see. So if it is 0100, what is the hex representation? Anyone? Why is it 1441? Tell me. I mean, red A on blue. Why is it 1441?
Sir, one for background, one for foreground.
Yeah, so which one is your background and which one is your foreground?
1-4 is the background.
So 1-4 in hex is responsible for your background and 4-1 is responsible for
Foreground, sir.
Is that so?
Yes, sir.
I don't think so. No. Not actually. See, you got a bit confused. Okay, let me show you where you got confused. Let me show you.
That only one is for foreground and four
Exactly.
is for background.
Exactly. You see, I told you that it will be an entire word. So this 41H is responsible for displaying A, nothing else. Because this will contain the ASCII code of the character that you want to display. And this 1-4, this is responsible for your attribute. Now, in this 1-4, 1 is responsible for the attribute of the background, and this 4 is responsible for the attribute of the foreground. Have you got my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now let us see. So for background, I am having 1. So what is 1? You can see for blue, you need to represent this 0001. So if you convert this into hex, you end up getting 1, right?
Yes, sir.
And what is the color we need? Red. So 0100. Yes, convert that into hex, you get 4, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is what your 1441H means. Is it clear to everyone now? Any either yes or no? It has to be something.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now there is another small thing. You can see that this DI is within the third bracket, meaning that in this address, this DI is definitely pointing to an address. Okay. In this address, the content will be modified by these things 1441H. And on the next line, you see that you are adding DI with true. There is no third bracket because you are adding the physical address. So the physical address itself is increasing. So to be more specific, let's say this is where is your address, this is where is your content. So initially when you are in this line, when you have finished this line, your address will be 8 then 0 0 into and D is also 0. So this is what is your address and there is nothing in the content. So when you are in this line, now the content will be 1441H. So you see in this address, this specific address, you are storing the content over here. Now in this line, you are adding 2 with the address. So that means now the address is 80002. Have you got my point up to this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then you go to loop. That means you again come over here and you again come over here. So now again the content is 1441H. And how many times this loop will run? This loop will run for 2000 times because that is what is the value of your CX. So in the entire memory, you will be filled with 1441H. Have you understood up to this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So finally, when you execute, your entire your entire display will be displayed with A and all these things. So let's see. Let me show you in the code. Okay, so this is what your output will look like. So let's just see it. So let me open not this one. So this is your code 1. All right. So this is the code, right? You can see the code. Okay. Can you see the code?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if I emulate it and I run, you can see that you are displaying red A with blue background. It will take some time. So any question up to this while the code is running? Is there any question up to this?
Can we say that the storing of
value by using third bracket is equivalent to C program's pointer, where we based on address store some value.
I think you can say, but এখন সি প্রোগ্রামিং এর পয়েন্টার তো মনে নাই তো এখন আমি ওইভাবে মিলাইতে পারতেছি না ভাই। Okay, finally the code has ended. So up to this, is it clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
And you can see the on the top it is showing 18 to 25 characters, right? You can see that. All right. So okay, so let's continue. I think you can see my entire screen, so that is better. All right, so this is the output that we got. Moving on. Now we will go for int 10h. Okay, before that, so that's why I have opened lab 3 over here. Do you remember this thing, int 21h? Like over here, if the value of h is equal to 1, then int 21h will be responsible for single key input. And if the value of h is equal to 2, then int 21h will be responsible for displaying a character, and the character will be in DL. Do you remember all these things?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so over here what we covered int 21h, that is interrupt 21h. But in this class or in this lab, I think we told you that apart from 21h you might have other values as well. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
So here we only covered int interrupt 21h. Now we will see what is other interrupts. And also another thing is, see, based on the mode where, I mean the mode you are specifying in AH, you might have other registers. Like when you went for AH1, when the mode was single key input, you did not need any other register. You simply had AH, nothing else. But now you see when the mode is 2, you need another DL register. So based on this mode, the number of registers might differ and they might have special purposes, right? You know up to this, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
If you know up to this, the next things are pretty easy. Okay, now we'll be going for interrupt 10h. Okay, so a lot of things are there, what you can do, what not. Then the full thing is available in this article 12.3.3 and appendix C. We will be covering some of the functions of int 10h. We will not be covering everything because there are a lot of functions. So we will give you some of the idea that if you are interested in further reading, you can go for article 12.3.3 and appendix C. Okay, let's start. So you see, with int 10h, the first function is 0. So you see in AH we are moving 0. When the function is 0, you have another register that you need, that is AL. So your AL will contain the mode number. Do you remember that there was a mode number like 0, 1, 3, 5 and 7 most probably? Do you remember that? So you need those mode numbers. Like look at this code. So XOR AH, you already know that XORing 2 same registers will clear that. So XOR becomes 0, and in AL you are moving 3. So when you go for int 10h, the first thing it will check is what is the value in AH. So it will see that the value in AH is 0. So if the value after 10h is 0, it will understand that you are trying to select the display mode. So after finding AH in 0, it will check what is the value in AL. So in AL, it will see that the value is 3. So the 3 meaning is that the mode 3, in mode 3, we had 80 into 25 color text mode. That is the mode. Up to this, if you have any question, please ask, please. If you did not understand anything, please let me know.
Sir, এই স্লাইডটা একবার বুঝাইলে ভালো।
Okay. So I'm talking about interrupt vectors, right? Interrupt vectors that we previously you had int 21h. Now we are learning another interrupt which is known as interrupt 10h. So you can see int 10h. In interrupt 21h, your various modes were stored in AH, right? So for interrupt, this is always true. Whenever you go for interrupt, your function, this function will always be stored in AH. So when you are going for interrupt 10h and your function is 0, that means AH will contain 0, This will mean you are trying to select the display mode, the mode in which you will be displaying. So what is the condition? Your AH must be 0. So if AH is 0 and you hit int 10H, that means you are trying to set the display mode. Now the display mode number will be stored in AL. In your previous slide, I showed you that your display mode has 1, 3, 5, 7 or something like that. These were the mode numbers. Should I go back to that slide again?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
go back. It will be easier for you to understand. Here, have you seen the mode number? See 0, 1, 2, 3, 7. See, so each mode has a specific description, right?
Yes, sir.
So this mode number you need to specify after int 10h. I mean in interrupt 10h, which mode you want to work with. So that is what we are doing. So yeah, over here we are moving the value. Over here you are moving the value 3 to AL. That means you want to go for this third mode, and third mode is 80 into 25 color text mode. That's it. So the question is, set the CGP adapter for 80 into 25 color text display. That is the question. So you need to set it to this color text display mode. So you know that to select the display mode, your interrupt will be 10H and your function will be 0. So AH will contain 0. So over here you are clearing your AH. For the third mode, I mean for this mode, the mode is 3. So the mode is 3. So you are moving 3 in AL, because over here you can see your AL will contain the mode number. So over here you will move AL to 3 to AL. Now when you encounter interrupt 10H, the first thing your microprocessor will do, it will check what are the contents in AH. So it will see that the contents in AH are 0 or is 0. So it will understand that I am trying to set the display mode. So what will be my mode number? That will be found in AL. So now it will check what is the value in AL. It will see that the value is 3. So your microprocessor will understand 3 means I want to set it to 80 into 25 color text mode. That's it. Have you understood it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that was function 0. Now is function 2. So same thing. So you see now the function is 2. So if the function is 2, your AH will be 2. As simple as it is. Whatever is the function, the value of AH will be that. What is this? See, it says move cursor function. So now you can move your cursor. So now some other registers will also take place, like DH will contain the new cursor row and DL will contain the new cursor column. So with this you will specify the new position of the cursor. Specify the new position of the cursor. So that is what these two are doing. All right, and BH will be page number. I mean, page number means you might have multiple displays available to you. So on which page you want to move your cursor will be determined by this BH. So you look at the code. So move AH2. So you are moving 2 to AH because you want to move your cursor. That is your moving cursor function. And BH and BH are ZORD. That means page 0. And you want to move your cursor to this position, row 12 and column 39, because this is specified by the question. And it is also converted to hex. So the hex is 27H and 0CH. So you see, it will be, yeah, I think the previous conversion was wrong. It is always press PNRC. Robiul, are you there? Yeah, you see the code, it is expressed in row column format.
Yes. DH and DL, basically it has been, but in that page, basically it was written as column then row. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So anyway, so over here you're specifying the new position of the cursor as asked or as required by the question, and then you go for interrupt 10H. So again, simple. When your microprocessor is in this line, it will check what is the value of AH. So it will check over here. So the value of AH is 2. So when the value of AH is 2, it will check these following things. What is my page number and what is the new position of the cursor? So according to the page number and new position, your cursor will be moved in that particular location. Have you got the point?
So what if my page number is not 0?
This is how you'll move your cursor. Yeah, so whatever is your page number, you will move that, say 0 to 8, simple.
So page number starts from 0.
Yeah, page number starts from 0. In this microprocessor, everything starts from 0.
Yes, sir.
Unlike your MATLAB. Okay. Is it okay up to this? Can I move on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Same thing. See, I'm just repeating the exactly similar things. Now this is your function 6. So what it will do, it will scroll the screen or the window. I mean, that is for scrolling. So this will be 6. AL will contain how many lines you want to scroll, and BH is attribute of the blank line, meaning that try to understand these two things. Say you are writing AL is equal to 3. That means you want to scroll 3 pages. Sorry, not 3 pages, sorry, 3 lines. Number of lines to scroll. So if you scroll 3 lines, what does that mean? At the bottom of your page, 3 blank lines will come, right? Have you understood up to this?
Sir, 3 new lines to hote parbe.
Exactly, 3 new blank lines. That is my main target, whatever you say. I mean, say this is your display. Okay, you have got a lot of lines over here. Now you are trying to scroll, say this much. So if you scroll this much up, exact same number of new lines or new blank lines will appear over here, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this BH will contain what will be the attribute of those blank lines. I mean that will those blank lines be black or white or pink or yellow? I mean, what will be the attribute of those blank lines will be specified by this BH. Have you got the point now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And see this portion. This one says row column for upper left corner of window and row column for lower left corner of the window. So this means that, okay, this one I will explain with the code. Okay, first of all see the code, then I'll explain what actually these two things are doing. Okay, so what we are doing, we are moving 6 because we want to go for function number 6. AL is 0. Now you see, if the value is 0, you are scrolling the entire screen. So we will go to the new screen. Is it okay up to this?
So can you please repeat?
Okay. AL will contain the number of lines to scroll. So if you give 1, 2, 3, 4, so that means you want to scroll 3 lines, 4 lines, something like that. But if you put 0 in AL, that means you want to scroll the whole screen or you want to go all together to a new screen. I mean, you will scroll the entire screen. That is what 0 means.
I mean, sir, it will create a new window, or I mean, in the same window where it's scrolling.
No, it will be in the same window, but whatever you had previously on that window, that will be gone. I mean, you just simply scrolling the whole page. What does that mean? You open a Microsoft Word, you scroll the whole page, you go to a new page, but your window is same, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So exactly that thing will happen over here. All right.
Yes, sir, understood.
Okay. Now these two, C and D, these two I did not explain. So wait over there. Over here you can see that in BH we are moving 7. So 7 stands for normal video attribute. So this thing you will again get from some table. I mean, the attributes are depending on what. So that is nothing significant. Now see these two lines. So when you are going to a new screen, okay, when you are in a new screen, you see that this one says upper left corner. So in the entire screen, upper left corner will be this one, definitely the topmost left corner, and this will be the lower right corner. You see that the lower right corner is over here. Now, so this entire screen will be available for this normal video attribute. But what these two can do is that, say, instead of moving 0 in CX, you are moving some specific value to CX, some row and column value. So CX will be responsible for the upper left corner. So whatever row column value you are moving, say that value is somewhere over here, okay? And whatever value you are providing in DX, say that value is somewhere over here. So what is that means is that in that window, only this portion will be available for normal video attribute. These portions will just remain blank. Have you got my point? Have you got this part?
Can you repeat, sir?
Okay, I think it is better if I show you something before I show you all these things. Yeah, look at this screen. Okay, you'll see this code in a little bit. You see this screen. See, this entire portion is black, but what you did from here up to here, you made it red, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is what you can control with function 6 and cx and dx. Now let me go back. See, over here, what is the value of your cx? 0, right?
Yes, sir.
And this dx will contain 1845. That means 7924. That is the rightmost bottom corner, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
But over here, you see that your cx will not contain zeros. If your cx contains 0, it means this position. And if your dx contains those values, it means this position. But over here, you want this position and this position. So you will provide some specific value to cx and some specific value to dx. So this portion will be available to you. Have you got the point now? এখনো বুঝো নাই?
বুঝতে পারছি, স্যার।
Okay, when we'll see the code, it might be again clear to you. But again, I'm trying to say this CH, CL, and DH and DL will specify which portion of the window or which portion of the screen you want. That's it, nothing else. Okay, we'll see a little bit more. Okay, this is function 9. As you can see, from function 0, we went for function 2, but there is a function 1. From function 2 went to function 6, but there is function 3, 4, 5. Then from here again, we are moving to function 9, but there is function 7, 8, and all these things. So if you want, you can go for those things as well. So this function 9 is responsible for displaying the character at the cursor. Remember, so you see, I showed you how you can control the cursor. So wherever is your cursor, your character will be displayed at that cursor position with the attributes that you provide. So very simple, your H will contain 9, BH will be the page number on which you want the display, your AL will contain the ASCII of the character, your CX will contain like how many times you want to write that character, and your BL will contain the attribute of the character. Nothing complicated. Have you got the point? Over here up to function 9. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let's go. So you see, you have got a few questions over here. So first thing, you want to set the display to mode 3. So what should be the value of AH? If you remember, it will be 0, isn't it? 0 is responsible for setting the display, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, look at the second question. Clear a window with upper left corner. Now, this is what I was trying to explain time and time. So how can you clear a window? This one is your function 6. Okay, so you have to clear a window, but your upper left corner will be 26.8. That means this position, and your right corner will be 52.16. That is this position, not this and this, not the extreme points, but somewhere in between. So this is for AH6. For moving the cursor, what was the function? Anyone remember? Let's check. For moving the cursor, it is function 2. Is it clear up to this? So over here the function will be 2, and finally we need to print a blinking. This is the color, whatever. These are the attributes. Doesn't matter. So over here your function will be 9, right? Have you got my point? So you need 4 different functions. So how many times do you need int 10h?
4 times, sir.
Exactly, you need 4 times int 10h. So this is the code. This is not complicated at all, if you understood the previous thing. So this is your first int 10h. So for selecting the display, you can see the value of h is 0. So that means we are trying to execute the 0 function, and you know AL contains the mode number. So we are done with the first part. Now this is the second part, right? 6. So you're trying to move the cursor. Where will you move? In this position. Upper left will be this and lower right will be this, as asked by the question. So this was your first part of the question. And this is, you are providing what type of background. So it will be cyan characters on red background. So background will be red. So that's why we're moving 43. And we will scroll the entire window. So that's why it is 0. So this is the second part of your question where we needed A6. Now you want to move the cursor. Very simple. So this is the third part. Where you want to move the cursor? To the center of the screen. As simple as it is. And your H function is 2. And you are in page 0. From here you can see you are in page 0. Okay. So that's why your BH is 0. Finally, this is the fourth part of the question. You want to display a character. The character is A. So you are instead of moving the ASCII, you can also move directly the character by putting it in inverted commas. And for blinking and cyan, this is what you need. And you are in page 0 as you already saw. So you are in page 0 and you again go for int 10H and you will see a a cyan colored A on the red background. That's it. If you have any question, I mean, this will be your output. I will of course show you the output in emulator as well. But in this code, if you have any question, do let me know now. If there is any question, please you have to ask now.
স্যার আমার একটা কনফিউশন আছে স্যার
বলো
স্যার এই যে স্যার মানে in the first part sir it's there are two codes given as upper left corner and lower right corner sir. The confusion I have is sir in one slide the row and column are given in different positions and here it's given in different positions sir.
আবার বলো কোথায় আগে in previously which slide?
So this slide the first part of the code sir.
Yeah,
for example moves which one's the row and which one's the column in CX and DX sir.
Oh. You will just in CX it is sorry. So your CX is arranged in this portion, right? CH and CL, right?
Yes sir.
So when you are moving these numbers like 081AH, tell me what will be the value of CH and what will be the value of CL?
So the value of CH will be 1A.
Value of CH will be 1A and CL.
So the rest 08. Yes.
Is it okay, everyone?
না স্যার উল্টা
So ulta hoga sir.
So this one will be 08 and this one will be 1A, right?
yes sir.
Okay, now let us come over here because we are confused with row and column. So according to this, actually I am also new over here. You can see that CH should contain the row and CL should contain the column, right? Row, column, right? CHCL. Have you seen this?
Yes sir.
Okay, so let's go over here. So we were over here. So if this is the case, CH, this will be your row number and this will be your column number. Now tell me, what is there any other confusion?
No sir, no sir.
Is it clear now?
Yes sir.
This is not something I thought I will explain because even if you get mixed up, you will always know where you got mixed up, isn't it? So you can simply swap the numbers, that's it.
Yes sir.
So it is not that complicated of things. You can just always understand it. Okay, any other question? Anything else that you did not understand, please let me know. Anything else at all? Okay, let me show this in the emulator. Okay, so I will open code 2. All right, this is the exact code that you saw. Okay, so if I run this code, emulate and run. Okay, so you see this is what I'm trying to explain from that time. Entire screen, you see the rest of it is black, but only this portion is red. Okay, I think again I got some internet issues. But sorry for that. I think I'm audible now. So you see, your entire screen is not red. Only this portion of the screen is red. That is what is your function 6. By controlling Cx and Dx, your Cx will control this position. I mean, this point will be controlled by Cx, and this position will be controlled by Dx. So providing Cx and Dx, you specify which portion of the entire screen you want to have red or whatever color you want. Have you got the point now?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
And now simply you display the character on the middle of the screen. So that's it. Okay, so let me get back to my. So any question up to this, please let me know. Time and again I'm saying, because after this we don't have anything much more complicated. Is there any other question? Okay, so let's move on. Fine. Now if I ask you to write a code that will display something like this, can you do that? I showed you that how to do this, right? Only A. So now you have to do the same thing for this entire thing, that is lab shesh, and some emojis as well. Can you do this? কারো মুখে কোনো কথা নাই।
Yes, sir.
হয় আজকে কেউ কিচ্ছু বুঝো নাই, মোস্ট প্রবলি আসলে কেউ কিছু বুঝো নাই আজকে।
আরেকবার দেখা লাগবে পরে, তারপর ভালো বুঝা যাবে।
কোড করে
বুঝছি,
আরেকবার তো অবশ্যই দেখা লাগবে। আচ্ছা, এইটার কোডও দিয়ে দিচ্ছি, ঠিক আছে? এটার কোড খুবই ইজি।
পারবো, বাট এটার জন্য আমাদের পিক্সেল নাম্বারগুলো জানতে হবে যে মানে
হ্যাঁ, exactly, the code is given. Okay, let me show you this code as well. Okay, let me show you this code. See, now you at least get the idea that this code is definitely very big. No doubt that this is very big, but you know how it is working, right? Every time you need different functions for displaying different characters. So if you just run this code, and you can see, so it is simply showing lab shesh and all these things. I mean, you can do that, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is all I wanted. Yes, sir, at this slide, because this is what we are trying to explain from the very beginning. All right, so the code is given. Rest of the things are nothing. I mean, your lab is actually concluded. This is just a small introduction to your 80286. So far we covered 8086. So this is the history of your 80286. What are the difference in data bus with address bus? Then what is the memory size? Simple. What are these things? Just an introduction. Okay, I'll not be explaining anything at all of 80286. I'm just showing you the differences and the similarities. So you see this 80286 has got a faster clock rate and all these things, advanced memory management, better pipelining method. If you remember, we had a problem with pipelining, right, in 8086.
Yes, sir.
So this one comes with a better pipelining method. I mean, this is an introduction to a whole new course. The way we introduced you 8086, that was the same introduction I'm now giving you for 80286. So this is the introduction for a whole new course. So you can see that this is the internal block diagram, like you have an address unit, bus unit, instruction unit, execution unit. Few things will be same. You already know what is address unit. You already know what is bus. You already know what is instruction and execution, isn't it? So you'll see that a lot of the things will be similar. So this is the internal block diagram. We already showed you the internal block diagram of 8086. So this is what is the internal block diagram of 80286. As I said, I'll not be explaining anything at all. Now these are the 4 functional units, what they can do and what not. Just an introduction, nothing else. Then these are the 2 operating modes. It can have real address mode and protected virtual address mode, something that is new. Okay. Then this is the register. What are the register organization? Anyway, this is your register. AX, you already know AX, DX, CX, BX, SP, SID, ISP. So you see, these things are exactly similar. CSDS, ESS, all these things are similar with 8086. So these are the similar things. The flag, I think, is a bit different. Like these things are okay. You have carry flag, parity, auxiliary, 0, sign flag. This one is new. You can see trap flag. We did not have that in 8086. Interrupt flag, I think we had. Direction flag, I don't think we had. Overflow flag we had. Then NOPL, I don't think we had this one. I mean, so the flag might be a little bit new with new functions and not whatnot. Then these are the pin configuration of a physical 80286 microprocessor. These are various instructions and all these things. And this is the history. 802, your 8086 was in 1978, what we learned. And over here, we had whatnot, Pentium 4, Intel Core. There are a lot of things now as well. So that's it. So these are your assignments and not so very simple things. These assignments are also not that difficult, okay? So you just have to go through. Anyway, as I said, this lab will be very, very short. Did I just get disconnected?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Okay. Okay, can you see my screen?
No, sir.
No, sir.
কি বলে? Can you see the screen now?
Not yet, sir.
Share this. Achha, let me try again. Can you see the screen now?
No, sir.
No, sir.
আরিফ আমি দেখতেছি ইউ আর কানেক্টিং টু অডিও জাস্ট নাও স্টিল ওয়েল লিসেনিং টু
এখনো কানেক্টিং অডিও কি ভাই? ভাই কি হইতেছে আজকে? আসছি এখন আমি?
No, sir.
হ্যাঁ মানে তোর কথা শোনা যাচ্ছে
স্ক্রিন দেখা যায় না এখনো?
জি না স্যার, স্ক্রিন দেখতেছি না।
রবিউল আছিস?
আসি
তুই স্ক্রিন শেয়ার করতো, আমি বুঝতেছি না কি হয়েছে। আছে না ল্যাপটপ? Okay, anyway, so this was, I think I completed the lab, so I was just going previously, like after slide number 20, there is nothing complicated. Again, the introduction to 286, whatever we showed, you don't have to memorize anything at all, okay?
ভয়েস ল্যাগ করতেছে।
Nothing. You don't have to memorize. I mean, you will never have a question like, what is the address bus with? I think I'm having. Am I audible now? Rubiul?
ল্যাগ করতেছিল, এখন শেষে শোনা গেছে, আর একটু কন্টিনিউ কর তাহলে বোঝা যাবে।
Okay, so as I was saying, you will not be asked questions from here, like something that you have to memorize. You don't have to memorize anything from here. You will never have a question like, what is the clock speed of Pentium 3, something like that. You will never have a question like that. So this is just for giving you some idea, that's it. Whatever, I mean, all you need to do is you need to understand the things. Again, I told you that with AH, there are a lot of functions like AH 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You don't have to memorize those things as well. If you are given a question, you will be provided with, I mean, Rubil, agar slide ja to, ওই 8.6 এর slide ja. উপরে, হ্যাঁ। আরো উপরে যা, আরো উপরে। Okay, wait over here. Okay, হ্যাঁ, এখানে থাক, যেখানটা থাকলে হবে। So you will be provided this upper window, like the pinkish window, okay, like integer 10h function 2, then you might be given the question. Have you got my point? So you don't have to memorize that for function 2 I need DHDL and BH will contain the page number. All these things you don't have to memorize. You just have to understand how these things work. So the question will provide you with all the necessary functions that you need to execute a code if you are asked to. Have you got my point? বুঝা গেছে? Anyone, please just respond. Have you understood anything at all?
Sir, could you repeat? We could not hear you, sir.
কথা কি শোনাচ্ছে আমার ক্লিয়ারলি নাকি কেটে কেটে আসতেছে? সো আই উইল চেঞ্জ মাই
স্যার মাঝে মাঝে ল্যাগ করে, মাঝে মাঝে ক্লিয়ারলি শোনা যায়।
দ্যাটস আ প্রবলেম। এখন কি শোনাচ্ছে?
আর এখন কেটে কেটে আসতেছে স্যার।
Wait.
Okay, Arif, if I repeat what you have said, so what he was saying is that if you have been given with some task related to these functions, inter 10H or something like this, so you will be given at least these things like H, DH, what are these things, and then you will be given the task. You need not to memorize, but you need to know what is how to use this H, DH, DL, and BH. That is the thing, isn't it, Arif? Is Arif with us? Let me see. Okay. He has just got disconnected.
স্যার আবার একটু বলবেন যে আমাদের রেজিস্টার গুলো মনে রাখা লাগবে যে কোনগুলো ইফেক্ট করতেছে, ভ্যালুগুলো মনে।
Thing is that you will be given with this. Thing is that just এখানে যে the table that you can see here, this table will be given to you, but you need to know how to write the code from here, from these informations. Have you got it now?
Yes sir.
But basically these things are for your purpose. Whenever you'll be writing code or you'll be doing something, then you can use this one, and by seeing the book obviously. So remembering all these things or memorizing all these things is not easy. So it is obviously it will be a system loss of your brain if you want to memorize all these things. But previously there were 2 or 3 functions of interrupt 21 each. Those are a bit easy. Arif,
okay.
I have just repeated what you have said, that this table will be given to them if we have been given any task. Basically they need to know how to use that in the code.
Yeah, they all have to do is they have to know the use, nothing. They don't have to memorize anything at all. They just have to know the use, that's it.
Sir, will only be the functions of interrupt 10H will be given, like nothing else?
No, nothing else. Only interrupt 10H.
Yes.
Okay, so I think that is all from my side actually, Robiul, regarding the today's lab. So if you want to add anything.
We do not have anything for today's lab, but Arif, regarding the presentation, will you add something? Or
presentation I think you can just, I mean, if they have any queries, like yesterday you told me that the CRs asked you about some queries, so you can clarify those.
okay, so first thing is that by today you need to provide the groups, and I hope that Samir and 93 Salman Abid is here, and the CRs will give us the group numbers that can be of 4, and also maybe one section has said that okay, we already have formed the group of 3, so whatever, but we need to finalize this today. So by today they will send us the group number, and to select the topics. Okay, regarding the topics, I should say that you choose your topic by yourself and you send it to your CR, and CR will compile that and send us on 17th of December. By 17th of December, then we'll give you the feedback on 18th. And by the feedback, sometimes it may happen that we have given some modification, or it may happen that you need to go for a totally new thing to present. So we'll be giving the feedback on 18th, and by 18th, we'll be finalizing your we'll be finalizing your topics that you need to present. So that is the timeline up to after 18. You know that our next presentation on the next thing regarding this lab will be on 29th. And obviously I'm giving a chance to you guys that I'm just asking that what should be the deadline for today's lab report. That is another thing I need I can hear from you. So that is the thing. These are things that we wanted to say, but if you have anything to ask,
প্রেজেন্টেশনের টপিকগুলো কি আপনারা দিয়ে দিবেন, আমরা সিলেক্ট করে নিব না আমাদের চুজ করতে হবে?
Okay, Arif, regarding the topics, can you take this question?
The topics, I mean, you will propose your own topics, okay? The topics might be anything related to microprocessor. I mean, you see that we have had 8 labs, and we have tried our best to cover as much as possible within these 8 labs. But definitely we could not cover everything. So there are still a lot of things related to 8086 that we did not cover. Like, just for example, in today's lab, we did not cover the graphics portion, right? So your topics might be anything related to 8086 as well. The things that we did not cover, you can include those. Or you might include 80286. So if you include a new processor, you might go just for the basics of those processors or something like that. You don't have to go in very details, because definitely you cannot go in details. You just cannot start with a stack operation or rotate operation with the 80286 or Pentium 3 or something like that. So if you want to go for new microprocessors, you can come up with some similarities and the differences, what are the advantages with those things, like these basic things. But if you want to go for 8086, you can go into deeper into topics that we did not cover or something like that. Whatever you do, you will be proposing your topics definitely, and we will be the one who will be finalizing your topic. So if we see any topic that we think is not adequate or not up to the mark, we will definitely let you know. And if that is the case, then we might provide you with a topic, or we might ask you that you provide us with a new topic within the next 24 hours or something like that. So everything is actually open. Okay, so you will be the one who will be selecting your own topics in the primary stage, and then we will finalize that.
Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
When is the last time for choosing topic? I mean, giving you the topics.
Okay, by 17th, you just give it to your CR in particular, and okay, let me ask Samir and
স্যার 17 না স্যার, সিআর দের কাছে দেওয়ার জন্য 18 করে দেন, কারণ স্যার একদিন আছে স্যার, আমাদের তো একটু মানে ঘাটাঘাটি করতে হবে।
আচ্ছা okay, acha, let me ask Samir and Sadman, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, have you got the group numbers?
By tonight we will collect, inshallah.
Yes, by tonight, what you do, you make the list and give the group number 1 2 3 4 5, and select one person to whom we will be contacting, like one email, or actually we need the email address of all the students. So give the email of all the students, and also provide the list by tonight, and that is the finalized group. And after that, okay, let me give you the date up to 18th. Arif, ki bolos? We can give them up to 18th, no problem. So by 18, you need to submit your topics to your CR. Then CR will give the same Excel sheet with the topics, and then maybe within the first hour of 19th, maybe we'll give you the feedback. But by 19th, you need to we'll be finalizing your topics. And if we see that some topics are not up to the mark, then we'll give you the feedback, or I will upgrade that topic, or we may want that, okay, give us the new topic. So we will be contacting you with the email, and that's the thing. So by 19th, we will be finalizing the topics, and after that, from 29th and 30th, you will be getting your. Oh, sorry. I do maybe I'm getting wrong with the dates. CS has given the dates. So on 1st and 2nd January, maybe you will be giving the, or when will be the presentation, Samir?
First and second, sir.
1st and 2nd of January, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then that's the thing. Then you will get maybe 2 weeks to get prepared for that one. Okay. Now, when should I give the deadline for this lab report? What do you say?
Sir, I think you can extend it to some like end of December maybe, before the presentation.
Sir, I think before the lab quiz, sir, the lab quiz is 3rd January. So if you give it up to the night of 2nd January, it would be adequate, I think, sir.
Up to the 2nd January.
So because we have a lots of quizzes and also other lab reports are also pending.
So Arif, I think I can take that one. So for the last lab, it is okay, isn't it? Arif?
Yeah, I think that's okay.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, if we choose any topic that includes a good amount of code, so the presentation may be of around 12 to 15 minutes. So if we go explaining the course line by line, it may not be adequate to enough to explain this in this short duration of time. So in that case, do we need to go?
You'll be given with maybe 10 to 12 minutes, obviously, and then if 2-3 minutes for maybe for question and answer session. And thing is that all of you should present, because obviously we will be marking individually and also group wise. But thing is that you will be judged individually. So all of you should present. That is the first thing. And the topic that you want to say, okay, then if you do not want to explain line by line, then take a block. Okay, this block or this code is for this. So you need to manage that time. Are you getting me, Samir?
Yes, sir.
You need to manage that time. Within that 10 to 12 minutes, you need to prepare such that, and you need to explain such that things will be at least understandable to others. Is it okay? Okay. Anything else? Okay. If no, Arif, I think we can conclude. But before that, okay, let me take the attendance, and by this time you can. Okay, I have already taken few of the IDs who are present. Let me call the IDs that I have not found during that time. So.